Hey y'all, hey, and welcome back to a brand new edition of Hump Day Wednesday. I'm back. It's been a minute, okay? It's been over a minute, but I am back. I have said I was coming back for a long time. I've been putting it off, but this is the first Wednesday of the second half of this year. So I have made it my business to start back doing my Hump Day Wednesdays because it's been a lot going on. And I just have not been able to get my butt focused and get on here on Wednesday. But today is the day, okay? I just had to tell myself to start over, get the ball rolling, and here I am. Okay, I know it's late and it might be Thursday where you are when you see this. But for me, it's Wednesday. It's 10:24 p.m. and I got it in before midnight. Okay? So listen, uh I've got so much I want to say, so much I want to share. Okay, we've been very diligent about coming on Fridays and Sundays to give our boxing recaps and, our boxing thing and whatnot. But it's been a lot going on, and I wanted to share with you guys, just what's been going on. Okay, not necessarily with me, because I ain't finna tell y'all my business, but what's going on in the world, okay, in the land of the living and whatnot. So I'll just start here. If you guys watch my show that I do with Boxiana on Friday and on Sunday, particularly last Sunday, I spoke to you all about a show that I was introduced to. And I'm not a sci-fi girl, okay? I don't get a chance to watch a lot of television, but I like to watch TV. So when I get a good show recommendation, I try my best to sit down and watch. So Sunday day, I was introduced to a show just dropped on Netflix, I believe at the end of June, called Supercell. Now, I'm not going to give spoilers just yet. I'm going to go, I'll just give a synopsis. But I want you all, if you haven't yet, whoever's watching this, I want you to go and watch the show called Supercell. And it's Supacell. And it's on Netflix. Very interesting, very intriguing show. Blew my mind because I have something in common with the show. Okay, with one of the main topics of the show. Okay, I'm not gonna give a lot of away. What I will tell you is that it's a sci-fi slash drama. Okay, I will tell you that it is set in the UK. So if you guys are familiar with my show, sometimes I talk about the shows that I watch and that I really like. I got hip to a show called Top Boy a little while ago, and it was also based in the UK. I love the British accent, okay, and I love to hear the black folks with the British accent. I love to hear the lingo of the British black folks, okay, and my favorite word thus far is bruv. I just thoroughly enjoy that very rarely do you hear the British use the N word. Sometimes you hear it, but it's really off putting when you hear it. It's like they really mean it in the most derogatory way. It is not like lackadaisically used. It's not a term of endearment most times. And maybe it's getting that way, but I would just love for them to continue to use bruv the way that they do. And I would encourage Americans to probably use bruv instead of the N word as well. I just like it a lot. I love bruv. Anyway, let me get off track. So the show is like somebody on Twitter said it. The show is like X-Men meets Black Lightning. If you guys ever watched the show Black Lightning that was on the WB a couple of years ago, it is a merger. That's what it kind of feels like. So it's a sci-fi. These aren't comic book characters, I don't believe, but it feels like it could be that. It's just a really good storyline, a really good plot, and it's an all black cast. That was enough for me to just sit and watch. But when I looked and I saw the the symbolism in the writing, I was just like, ooh. And I know it's probably going to go over some of you guys' heads, but watch it again. Now, the good thing about this is it's only a 6-episode series. Each episode is an hour long. But I'm not going to get on here today and spoil it for anybody, because between now and Friday or Sunday, hopefully some of you guys will sit down and watch at least the first 2-3 episodes, and then we can discuss it on Friday and we can discuss it on Sunday. But do yourself a favor, watch Supercell. It's on Netflix, and it's just a really good show. Like, I enjoy TV, I enjoy movies. Some people want everything that's in a movie or everything that's in on TV to be like realistic and want it to be like a true story kind of thing. I don't ever get that out of movies. To me, they're supposed to be whimsical, fantasy. Now, if I do see a good autobiography or a good biography or biopic or whatever, then great. But I also know that those stories are written for TV, and they are not like all true and factual through and through. So I enjoy the additives and the imagination that movie going and watching TV allows. I don't want it all to be so real. I want to escape into TV, because real life be whooping our ass sometimes. And so I don't expect TV and I don't expect movie watching to be realistic all the time. And I would encourage you to do the same. Anyway, Supercell. Watch it so we can discuss, because this time next week, I'm going to dig all off and through it. Okay? And we're going to get into it. But I just wanted to introduce it to you guys today on my first episode of Hump Day Wednesday that I haven't had in such a long time. But that is the homework for next Wednesday, okay? But I just, wanted to come on here and talk to y'all, because I'm a sports girl, right? And so it's a lot going on, right? So Wimbledon just started. Wimbledon just started this week. And Coco Gauff is through. She had a match today. She's through to round number 3. Also, Naomi Osaka, she lost today, okay? She's still trying to get her stuff together after taking a little break off for her mental health. And also, in the midst of that, she had a baby. So she's trying to get her stuff back mentally and physically. Mentally, I think she's back. It's just physically having to recover from the baby, from the layoff. I think she'll be fine. She took Iga Swiatek to the brink of destruction almost at the French Open. Couldn't close the show. Grass is not her favorite surface, but the hard courts are. And after this tournament, we have the last tournament of the season, which is the U.S. Open in New York City. And so hopefully she'll be back to better form, and she'll have a better showing on the surface that she likes best. Okay? So chin up, Naomi Osaka, and all her fans. I'm a fan. I love her. I want to see her come back. Now we have Frances Tiafoe tomorrow. If you guys don't know who Frances is a real life African American. Like, his parents are African. He was born here in America. He is the real life living term of African American. Okay. But he is facing Carlos Alcaraz. Now, if y'all don't watch tennis, y'all don't know. Carlos Alcaraz is a youngster, and he is like picking right up where my favorite tennis player, Rafa Nadal, has left off. Okay, Rafa Nadal, also from Spain, is basically at the end of his career. Been a long, wonderful career for Rafa, but Father Time is undefeated, and he's had multiple surgeries, and it's going to be really hard for him to get back. But Carlos Alcaraz said, no worries. I'm going to pick up the mantle for Spain, and I'm going to carry it as far as I can carry it. Young Carlos is masterful for him to be as young as he is. And I want to say he's ranked number 3 in the world right now. behind center, and Djokovic. I don't know. But I think he's number 3 in the world. Not sure who he's behind, but he won't be back there very long because he's awesome. Francis has not been playing the best, but if Francis can some kind of way dig into his best game, we will see a very exciting contest. Okay, it's not tomorrow. It'll be Friday that they play. It will. Oh man, I hope Francis can get up for this. I hope he can find his best tennis, because this is going to be a very interesting match if he can do so. If he can't, Alcaraz is gonna wipe the grass with him real fast because he's that good. But we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, I'm pulling for Coco. She gonna have to get it together though, because that grass this first week is kind of slippery. So I'm hoping she doesn't, she can cruise on through. But my other guy, Novak Djokovic, he had his opening match, and he's just coming off of a knee surgery. I think he had meniscus surgery like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He's wearing a sleeve on the knee. Like I said, Father Time is undefeated. He's up there too. He's the last of the big 3. There was Roger Federer, there was Rafael Nadal, and then there was Novak Djokovic. Both Rafa and Roger have pretty much called it quits. Roger officially, I don't think Rafa has officially yet, but Novak is right there with them. So, pulling for Joker. But these young guns, they young gunning, okay? But I'm hoping to see some really good tennis for the rest of these next 2 weeks. Now, moving on from tennis. Last weekend and this past weekend, we were treated to the U.S. Track and Field Championships, okay? So we are in an Olympic year, okay? So everybody's gearing up to go to Paris at the end of this month. And we were treated to some really good races from the Americans in the 100 and the 200 men's and women's events, okay? We had some some terrible upsets. I was so hurt for a thing Mo. She didn't make it in her signature 800 event. She fell and she wasn't able to get up and regain her footing. Ended up finishing last place. I felt so bad for her. Oh my goodness, I felt so bad. Getting jumbled up in the pile in that 800 is no joke. And she couldn't get out of the way. In some kind of way, she ended up tripping and she missed it. So we don't have a thing Mo in the 800. But we do have my girl, Sha'Carri. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Sha'Carri Richardson in the 100. We have Gabby Thomas representing in the 200. Listen. So if y'all don't know, Sha'Carri is from my hood. She's from my neck of the woods in Dallas, Texas. We are Oak Cliff girls. But we couldn't be more different, okay? But we are still Oak Cliff girls. We have the spirit of Oak Cliff, if that means anything to you. And you could probably see it in me sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes. Anyway, Sha'Carri has managed to get herself together. The last time we saw her prepping for the Olympics, she had an embarrassing drug failure. Not anything performance enhancing, but she had a drug failure for cannabis, okay? She was smoking weed. Later on, we found out what was going on in her personal life. Young woman dealing with some tragedy. She smoked. She smoked at the wrong time, though, honey. It was just the wrong time. It was the wrong time, honey. Anyway, she has had to deal with that. She's had to deal with the fallout of that. She's had to deal with not making it to the Olympics in Tokyo. She had to deal with trying to do a whole comeback, having a huge signing with Nike, and then running poorly, getting embarrassed by the Jamaican ladies, and just dealing with all of that. And she's not even, I don't think Sha'Carri is even 24 years old. So we have got to witness her grow up in real time, do some soul searching, just better herself in front of the world. And I could not be more proud of the young lady. I'm so happy for her. I hope she continues to do great things on the track. I hope she continues to um, be positive for herself. Not nobody else, but just for herself. She seems like she has really tried to work on herself. I can tell it, by the words that she speaks, the way that she is answering these questions in these interviews. She's just becoming a polished professional athlete. And I love that for her. The fact that she had to do it in real time in front of the world has to be the most challenging thing in the world. So I will show her some mercy, and I have shown her some grace. And you have to give people room to grow, because she was young, y'all, like really young, like really really young, doing and dealing with all of this. So kudos to her. I wish her nothing but success over in Paris. I will be screaming my face off, hoping that she brings home the gold in the 100. And in those relays, congratulations to her other stablemates who also made the final and who also made the cut in the 100 for the USA women. Her and two of her training partners are the ones representing in the 100. And with Gabby Thomas, honey, she is also coming off of an injury. She's like the polar opposite of Sha'Carri Richardson. Straight laced, not a lot of flair. Sha'Carri has flair. She has nails. She's gonna change the wiggery. She got she tatted up. She's got her own thing going on. Gabby Thomas is like the complete opposite. All American. If she has nails, it's nothing that's like outlandish. She's just straightforward, but she can run her ass off. And Gabby has been coming off of a year, I think, that was filled with injury for her last year as well. So she has gotten herself back in tip-top shape. She's peaking at the right time at the U.S. trials. She ended up running the fastest 200 time currently in the world. So she was able to maybe come through with the number one spot for the U.S. in the trials. And unfortunately, Sha'Carri, who was running very well throughout the prelims and semifinals of the 200, she did not make the cut for the women's 200 to go to Paris for the U.S. So she will only be representing in the 100 and the 4x4 relay. She did not make the 200 cut. But Gabby Thomas did. And Gabby, I believe, is the defending. She didn't win it because I think Sharika from Jamaica won the last Olympic 200 for the women. But there's going to be a real showdown between Gabby and Sharika. And I'm thinking Sharika is going to make the Jamaican team. Anyway, not only were the girls in the track and field doing their thing, but our girl Simone Biles is still doing her thing in gymnastics. Okay, honey, she made her third Olympic team. Okay, Miss Ma'am is now married and a 3-time Olympian, and I believe she has a super focused goal of winning that all-around gold in Paris because of what happened in Tokyo. If you guys remember, she had to pull out because she was dealing with some mental things as well. Listen, this mental health is a serious thing for the new generation. That's what I'll say. The new generation, they deal with issues differently, but they are also dealing with things that my generation did not have to deal with. All this social media and stuff like that, everything being instant, we didn't have that. So God bless them. Last thing I wanted to touch on was the WNBA. So we have Caitlin Clark and we have Angel Reese, both rookies, and both making their first All-Star team. Very happy that both ladies were selected. Both ladies are balling out as rookies, as they should, as we expected. Anyway, I'm not going to hold y'all long. I just wanted to briefly come on here and speak about, just what's going on in the world of sports, which is a lot. And the last thing I'll leave y'all with that we'll really get into next week is Why folks mad at LeBron James for setting up Bronny James for success? Okay, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all. Look at the make sure y'all look at Supercell so we can come back and discuss. Okay?